When I was a kid, the disaster we worried about most was a nuclear war. That's why we had a barrel like this down in our basement, filled with cans of food and water. When the nuclear attack came, we were supposed to go downstairs, hunker down, and eat out of that barrel. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. Not missiles, but microbes. Now, part of the reason for this is that we have invested a huge amount in nuclear deterrence, but we've actually invested very little in a system to stop an epidemic. We're not ready for the next epidemic. Let's look at Ebola. I'm sure all of you read about it in the newspaper. Lots of tough challenges. I followed it carefully through the case analysis tools we use to track polio eradication. And as you look at what went on, the problem wasn't that there was a system that didn't work well enough. The problem was that we didn't have a system at all. In fact, there are some pretty obvious key missing pieces. We didn't have a group of epidemiologists ready to go who would have gone, seen what the disease was, see how far it had spread. The case reports came in on paper. It was very delayed before they were put online, and they were extremely inaccurate. We didn't have a medical team ready to go. We didn't have a way of preparing people. Now, Médecins Sans Frontières did a great job orchestrating volunteers, but even so, we were far slower than we should have been getting the thousands of workers into these countries. And a large epidemic would require us to have hundreds of thousands of workers. There was no one there to look at treatment approaches, no one to look at the diagnostics, no one to figure out what tools should be used. As an example, we could have taken the blood of survivors, processed it, and put that plasma back in people to protect them. But that was never tried. So there was a lot that was missing, and these things are really a global failure. The WHO is funded to monitor epidemics, but not to do these things I talked about. Now, in the movies, it's quite different. There's a group of handsome epidemiologists ready to go. They move in, they save the day, but that's just pure Hollywood. The failure to prepare could allow the next epidemic to be dramatically more devastating than Ebola. Let's look at the progression of Ebola over this year. About 10,000 people died, and nearly all were in the 3 West African countries. There's 3 reasons why it didn't spread more. The first is there was a lot of heroic work by the health workers. They found the people and they prevented more infections. The second is the nature of the virus. Ebola does not spread through the air. And by the time you're contagious, most people are so sick that they're bedridden. Third, it didn't get into many urban areas, and that was just luck. If it had gotten into a lot more urban areas, the case numbers would have been much larger. So next time, we might not be so lucky. You can have a virus where people feel well enough while they're infectious that they get on a plane or they go to a market. The source of the virus could be a natural epidemic like Ebola, or it could be bioterrorism. And so there are things that would literally make things 1,000 times worse. In fact, let's look at a model of a virus spread through the air like the Spanish flu back in 1918. So here's what would happen. It would spread throughout the world very, very quickly. And you can see there's over 30 million people die from that epidemic. So this is a serious problem.
When they're trying to describe it as it being airborne. So if we was to go to each individual case, they would describe it as the doctor would tell them that they caught it like it's airborne, based upon the environment that they was in, where they was traveling, and what they have touched, right? Yet, when they describe how the virus came in the first place, they say it came from an animal somewhere in a meat market in China. What you eat don't make me shit. So how is a food transmitted virus is traveling this fast? How can one person eat something and whatever they ate traveling through so many people that fast? So that's why they're not completely describing it like that. They're fucking y'all minds up. It don't even exist. You see what I'm saying? It don't even exist. I repeat, the coronavirus don't even exist. It don't exist. So if you do go to the hospital and then they tell you you tested positive for the coronavirus, you need to know that you allowed them to tell you that. So you are allowing them to put you on medications and shit like that. Here's what they're not telling you. It's based upon your insurance, and if you got insurance or not, is they gonna tell you your symptoms got something to do with the coronavirus? If your ass already ain't got some weak ass insurance that's not accepted everywhere, or you ain't got no insurance, hell, I don't care what kind of symptoms you got. Your ass gonna be on the waiting hotline, or they gonna tell your ass you don't got the coronavirus, because your check don't matter yet. They gotta go through more loops for your check. No, the people they want right now is people who insurance means something. You know, people like these celebrities, you know, people who work in these government offices and these jobs. They need people like these people to be crash dummies right now. You know what I'm saying? Your insurance ain't shit. You ain't gonna get no test right now. See, they ain't gonna tell you that though. What they gonna do is create some more propaganda to make you feel like, oh, America fucked up because what about people who don't got good insurance? Oh, so we need to vote for this person. They reverse psychology.
They're taking their sabbatical, their bunker sabbatical. They're initiating the exodus of the celebrities. Okay.
Underground bunkers and panic rooms aren't just for extreme preppers anymore. Several companies that specialize in building these upscale doomsday retreats say business is booming. We went inside a Southland home with all the security bells and whistles.
He has cameras everywhere, a biometric bedroom door, bulletproof walls, and even a gassing system. Yet,
I don't think I'm paranoid at all.
Al Corby lives in one of the most fortified homes in Southern California. Just try to get inside his compound.
As soon as they step foot, a flash goes off right in their face.
Al says his house, located high above the Sunset Strip, is outfitted and ready to host anyone from celebrity to head of state.
We're inside the front door. If you look up to your right, you'll see a circle. That is a gassing system.
He showed how the blinding fog works on the Rachel Ray Show.
3 to 5 seconds, it can have the entire floor so dense that if you put your palm on your nose, you couldn't see your palm.
And the circle to the left, that's a special camera.
They can see through the fog, and you can see them wiggling their way back out again, so you know you're safe.
But Al, a security system designer, says the precautions don't end there.
Come on into the safest place in LA.
It's his 3-bedroom, 3-bath master suite, also known as the home's safe core.
Here you have the elevator.
The door to the suite weighs 650 pounds and has 12 bolts.
That drop out all the way around the door. This is my daughter's room, and she shares the security of the whole safe core.
There's a balcony with a fire escape. Should an intruder come up,
The security shutters drop down. It just turns into a solid wall of steel.
off the luxurious master bath, Al showed us the master bedroom.
The walls are all ballistic, so you can't shoot through them. The floor has a ballistic material in it.
So a bad guy can't shoot up. Corby says he doesn't believe panic rooms work, but nonetheless, he has one.
If the unimaginable happens, since we're already safe in the core, we can come into this room here.
It's a powder room outfitted with a security monitor, phone system, and
An additional layer of protection. Please leave. You really don't want to be here.
but what if Al wants to get out?
It has a heliport.
That's ready to land a rented chopper. But Al says, don't be impressed.
The ultra-rich people have their own helicopters.
Al is now working on his most ambitious project to date, a $100 million doomsday bunker at an undisclosed location.
While no one else has water, he does. While no one else has power, he does, for 3 generations.
And just who is this uber cautious client?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
First, we saw one celebrity who might or might not have passed away. Okay. The others are going. So you shouldn't be shocked. We had this discussion, 4 weeks ago? I told you they were going to jump ship. He's a spokesman for the cucarachas. So now he said, what celebrity do you know who would go on live television and say they got cucarachas? They're so vain and they're so private and they're so isolated. I think they were in Australia, right? He said he caught the cucarachas from Australia. Australians, you should be insulted that he's putting the cucarachas and labeling it that he caught it in Australia. My Australian family, you should really lobby against Tom Hanks for disrespecting your country. Okay? So I just think it's insulting Australia. You didn't catch cucarachas in Australia. You caught the cucaracha. You didn't even have the cucarachas. This is your initiative. Hey, Salu, this is your initiative to bounce. So that he's initiating the sabbatical for all the celebrities. So you will start to see every celebrity say, they got the cucarachas, okay? Dropping it like it's hot. Okay, so I got intel, family. I'm going to just say it because there's not much to hide. They're already initiating a mass global quarantine. You know, Italy's all shut down, okay? According to some of my intelists, there's arrests going on in Italy, okay? There's arrests going on in Italy because it was in what is it? The city. I forgot what city it was in. Supposedly there's arrests of all the pervs. Thank you. That 1,000 pervs that'll be arrested. Okay. And also I got word that in 2 weeks week to 2 weeks, you already know, family, they're planning to lock down all of the U.S. Okay. All of the U.S. So I got that intel this morning. Big up to Carlos. Carlos gave me that intel. Big up to Carlos. Carlos was the one that gave me the intel on that. I already got intel that they were going to lock down certain places, but I heard so today I was supposed to come to you guys earlier, but I didn't come earlier because I'm finishing up the rest of my prepping. Because I told you, hopefully you guys have chutes and ladders, Perchese, Connect 4. I hope you got some spades, some cards. You should have all the cards, like the card. I'm serious, family. I'm telling you, I'm about that life. I hope you guys.
The body was not designed to be sick. Bird doesn't get sick. Elephant doesn't get sick. He needs no vet. The lion doesn't need a vet. Neither is a giraffe or any of the natural animals. Why do we get sick? There has been a violation that is costing us our life today. And it would have been okay if I live happy until I die because of the violation, but that isn't what's happening.
In the 60s, is it going to be televised in the 90s?
Well, the catchphrase, what that was all about, the revolution will not be televised, that was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move. So when we said that the revolution will not be televised, we were saying that the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film. It'll just be something that you see and all of a sudden you realize, I'm on the wrong page. Or I'm on the right page, but I'm on the wrong note. And I've got to get in sync with everyone else to understand what's happening in this country.